Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Death Talks. Here we talk about death. We talk about times we've lost loved ones. We talk about experiences that we've had with near death, or how we feel about the afterlife. And in this video, we're going to watch, it's from Tyler Hall from his podcast called the Roller Coaster Podcast. And I have not watched the video yet. I do not know what this story is about, but I do know that the person in it has lost their wife, I believe. So we're going to see what lessons we can learn from this person's journey and their story. And I am extremely grateful for everybody who is here, and I'm grateful for Tyler Hall and his videos that he makes, because he's an amazing interviewer. And I'm grateful that this gentleman was willing to share his story. So let's see.
Is like, hey, you're going to be coaching all weekend. I think I'm just going to take the kids to the family reunion. We'll be back Sunday. It'll be a quick trip. It'll be fun. I remember Riggins, he was sitting on the steps. He says, I have the best mom ever. And I'm like, yeah, you do, man. And then he said, and guess what, Dad? I said, what, Riggins? He said, I have the best dad ever, too. I remember the phone call from the doctor. Everyone's dead except one person. And he says the one survivor is a 3-year-old. So I fall back to the ground. My wife, Courtney's gone. And Riggins is gone. My brother Race is gone. And
okay, trigger warning. I did not know that this story was going to include the death of a child. Now, I understand that could be really difficult for someone who has experienced it. If this is too much for you, please take care of yourself and come back for the next video. If you feel like you can handle it, maybe there will be some insight in this story that would help you heal. Maybe there's something you can tell this creator that would help him heal. So with that being said, let's get into the story.
Ryder's gone. So I know that immediately. So I fall back to the ground and I'm dealing with that. I do remember asking the guy, or telling the guy, I'm like, oh, you have my daughter, Frankie. He said, no, this is not a girl. This is a boy. Now, Frankie's gone.
You had an experience in your life that I think is up there with one of the most difficult things that a man or a human being could ever experience. I'd love for you to break down the events of that day. I'd love to hear sort of in detail what you went through that day, from the time that you woke up to the time that you went to sleep.
It was July 25th, 2021. So what is that, like 20 months ago? Coming up on the 2-year mark. It was a Sunday. I just took this new job in Southern Utah. I became like this cool, it was like my dream job, dude. It's like basketball trainer, basketball operations guy. I just put AAU teams together and coach. It was cool, man. So I just got this new job in Southern Utah, and I have my wife, Courtney. We have 3 kids. And like, dude, I don't know if it's like a Utah thing or what, but we have weird names for our kids. Like, our firstborn is Riggins, and then our secondborn was Blue. Like, Blue's not even a name, that's a color. Like, and then
Spelled exactly like the
yeah, spelled just like the color. Because when Blue was born, the cord got wrapped around his neck, and it like really bruised his face, and it's really purple and blue face for the first 4 days of his life. And so all the nurses and me and Courtney and everyone that saw Julian, that's what we named him, Julian, we just called him Baby Blue. Oh, it's Blue, look at Blue. And then when it came time for us to put his middle name down, we're like, well, let's do Blue. And then it just stuck. We just called him Blue ever since. Anyway. And then we had a beautiful daughter named Frankie. So, another weird name, kind of. So we're just, and dude, like, we weren't perfect.
I love that. I love that they allowed the child's energy and the child's spirit to inform their name. That's so cool. Even though, like, okay, the baby was blue, that doesn't really, it's not really his energy, but it was there enough that it stuck. It's really cool.
But like, we were like, Courtney and I were in love. I met Courtney when I was 15, dude. High school sweethearts. We went to every high school dance together. We won the award most likely to marry your high school sweetheart. Like, I served a 2-year church mission and she waited for me. She actually waited for me. Like, no one does that. Not only did she wait for me, she wrote me 3 letters a week. She wrote me 3 letters a week for 2 years. So like, that's just like, we just had this family. And family reunion was coming up. Big family reunion every year. Courtney and I never miss them. Like, my brother's sisters, grandparents, cousins. Like, this is a big deal. And I just took this new job at Nets on Fire, and I'm like, I don't think we can go this year. Like, there's this big basketball tournament this weekend. I can't miss the first tournament. That's just kind of how I saw it. So Courtney and I told our family, like, hey, I don't think we can make it. And then that Friday, Courtney is like, hey, you're going to be coaching all weekend. I think I'm just going to take the kids to the family reunion. We'll be back Sunday. It'll be a quick trip. It'll be fun. I'm like, yeah, sounds great. And then I said, hey, you should call Race, my brother Race, and his wife Keisha, who also lived in St. George. So, like, we lived in the same town because the family reunion's like 4 hours away. So I'm like, you should call my brother Race and his wife Keisha, and maybe they can carpool with you and help with the kids, or you guys can ride together. So, yeah, it's a good idea. So she calls Keisha, and Keisha can't go, and her 2 oldest kids can't go. But my brother Race is going, and his youngest son Ryder can go. So Race and Ryder ride with my family to the family reunion in Bear Lake, northern Utah. And I remember that Sunday when we were packing up, I was helping them pack up and getting the kids ready. And I remember, Courtney was kind of scrambling, getting all the floaties and all the clothes. And I remember Riggins, he was sitting on the steps. Like, you have stairs in your house going upstairs. And I remember Riggins was sitting on those stairs, and he says, I have the best mom ever. And I'm like, yeah, you do, man. And then he said, and guess what, Dad? I said, what, Riggins? He said, I have the best dad ever, too. I'm like, yeah, I don't remember what I said, honestly. And then I gave Courtney a hug and a kiss, and gave my kids a hug and a kiss. And then on that Sunday, coming back from the family reunion, there was a car accident. And everyone died except Blue. And the car accident was so...
Wow. That's... Oh. My heart breaks for this man and his family. Like, I could not imagine that. He lost his entire family except for one child in a car accident that they weren't even supposed to be on. They weren't even going to go. Oh my goodness.
Brutal that I couldn't even see. They'd let me see Frankie, and then I couldn't even see Courtney. They'd let me see her hand. They're like, we'll let you see her hand if you want. So literally, like, Courtney walked out that door, and I never saw her again. Like, closed casket funeral. Yeah. And I remember the phone call from the doctor, and he's like, hey, there's been a terrible accident. There's been a 22-car pileup. Everyone's dead except one person. And, I'm sure the guy on the phone did a much better...
Oh my God, what do you do when you get that call? I mean, could you imagine the pit you feel in your gut when you get a call from a doctor saying there is a horrible accident, 22 car pileup, and everyone is dead except for one person. Oh,
Job. I'm sure he did a really good job explaining to me what was happening, Tyler, but I was so shattered and in denial that it wasn't clicking. But the communication with me and him was hard. But I remember he said that, and I fall to the ground and just, the stages of grief everyone talks about, like anger, denial, bargaining, except like I'm just already going through all those. Like, no, it can't be true. Denial, anger, survivor guy sometimes. Just really weird, man. Like there's 6 people living in my brain all of a sudden. Boom, like just, and I've been like that ever since. And I remember looking at my phone, and my brother Race was like a state championship wrestler. He got into MMA fighting. He's just like this tough as nails guy. And so when the doctor's like, there's one survivor, I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna be my brother Race. And I remember like picking up the phone to hear who the survivor is, and I'm just like, please, it can't be Race. Please don't let the survivor be Race, because if it's Race, then my whole family's gone. And that the guilt, dude, like the guilt of that is heavy, and it's weird because
I can't imagine. I understand feeling that way because everybody, your entire family is in that car. And I understand your brother is also your family, but your children, all of your children are in that car. And I can feel that you just have hope that at least one of your children is still with you, that you can at least hold one of them. I get it. You don't want to lose your brother either. But your child, oh, that's so hard.
part of me gets it. Like, it doesn't even make any sense, Mason. Like, we all get that. But there's another part of me that's like, you're a dirtbag. Like, how can you think that? So I pick up the phone, and I'm shaking, and I'm crying, and I think I threw up. I don't even remember. And he says the one survivor is a 3-year-old. So I fall back to the ground. My wife, Courtney's gone. And Reagan's is gone. My brother Race is gone, and Ryder's gone. So I know that immediately. So I fall back to the ground, and I'm dealing with that. And I'm really confused by the 3-year-old. And because the 3-year-old could mean our daughter Frankie, or it could mean Blue. Because Blue is really small for his age anyway. So I'm like, okay, who is it? And they're like, the survivor can't talk. It's a kid, but they're okay. Like, they're alive. And part of me didn't believe them. Like, you're telling me everyone else is gone. And they're like, the survivor we're flying, we have to life flight to the hospital in Salt Lake, which is a 4-hour drive. So I'm like, okay, everyone in the car accident is dead. The one survivor you're life flighting, like, they're lying to me. Like, he's not okay. Like, is he going to be alive? Is he, like, I don't know. And I don't even know if it's my kid 100%. It might be another kid from another car. I don't even know. I don't know. And so I'm hoping it's Blue, or I'm hoping it's Frankie. And I want both of them. So I'm like, and for whatever reason, I get the idea in my head that it's my daughter Frankie. And I do remember asking the guy, or telling the guy, I'm like, oh, you have my daughter Frankie. He said, no, this is not a girl. This is a boy. He has blonde hair, blue eyes. And Blue has blonde hair, blue eyes. So he fits the description. So it was, Tyler, dude, it was like, imagine like you're told your kid is dead, and then you're like, oh, he's actually alive. It was incredible. It was like, wow, Blue's alive. And then it was like immediately connected with, but now Frankie's gone. And that messed me up too.
I could not imagine having to balance those type of emotions. One, you're so grateful that your son is alive, and in the other hand, that means your daughter isn't. Oh my gosh. I don't know how you hold all that in your body. That's so much to hold.
So I get to I drive 4 hours. I have to drive through the car accident. Well, I don't drive. My buddy drives me because I'm in no condition to drive. The 4-hour drive. I'm literally just flipping through those stages of grief. I'm punching the dash. I am screaming and crying, and then I'm silent, and then I'm in shock, and then the survivor guy would step in, and I'd text people and communicate with people like, hey, you need to let and then it was just, it was a mess. I get to the hospital, and and I get to Blue's room, and it's Blue, and he had some deep scratches on his head. He had a broken hand, but other than that, Blue was alive, and we spent one night in the hospital, and I remember I spent that first night in the hospital kind of just in shock. I just stared at the ceiling and the wall with Blue in my arms. My parents were in the room with me, and my parents just took turns going to the bathroom and just crying. And not crying, like wailing, and never heard him make noises like that. Like my dad, strongest, like most stoic, mentally tough people I know, just making all these noises. And I'm just sitting there like this isn't my life. And then Blue and I we left the hospital the next day and walked out with him in my arms into our...
Wow, that's amazing. Everybody else in the car passed away besides him, and he only spent one day in the hospital. That's amazing. Like, to me, that's a miracle. I believe there was definitely spirit guides, angels, whatever you want to call it. There was definitely a force protecting that child. Because, yeah, that's crazy.
New life, our new reality.
It's tough. I mean, I know you tell this story a lot now. I don't know if it gets easier. It's really hard to listen to.
Yeah, it helps me. I like saying it. And that's one thing I've learned through all this is talking about it, man. Has helped. And
that right there, it's pretty amazing that he just said that talking about it helps. That is the whole intention behind this channel that I'm creating. It's so people can talk about their stories. People can tell their death stories, death talks. Like, people need to talk about it, because I do believe it helps. And that just confirmed it, because this poor man has experienced the worst death talk I could ever imagine. And he has said talking about it has helped him. So that's incredible.
And it's weird because talking about it out loud, whether it's a podcast or in therapy, whatever, it helps me. But then when I can talk about it and it helps someone else, that is really cool. And listen, like, the car accident's unfair and it sucks and it's bullshit and I don't understand it at all. But I'm not going to let it break me. Like, if I just lay in bed all day, or if I'm just mad at the world and I blame everything on God and I blame if I just become this bitter guy, then I let my family die in vain, and then I let that event truly beat me. It's not going to beat me. I'm going to try to make something great happen from it, and I get to talk about my kids and my wife and my brother and my nephew all the time, and I try to keep them alive. But talking about it's really helped, and yeah, that's kind of what I do a lot, is talk and try to help people.
Yeah, when you were talking about the dynamic with Frankie and Blue, I just, for a brief moment, I thought about my kids.
You.
And it's like, even just the thought hurts, you know?
You.
So the fact that you've had to bear that, it's pretty crazy. It's got to take a lot of strength.
I mean, I think it does, but because I get all these cool compliments all the time. And, my mission president, back to my church mission that I served, I love my mission president. He's like our boss, like our leader guy. And he'd always say, compliments are like perfume. Like, a little bit's good, but, like, if you drink it or too much, like, it's going to poison you. Like, not good. And so, like, what I mean by that is, yeah, the compliments are nice, but what keeps my ego small or at bay is I honest to God think what else am I going to do? Like, what else do I do? So I appreciate how strong people think I am, but from my perspective, it's my only card I have to play. Like, I don't know what else to do. And then the other thing I've learned, like, I'm just a normal, like, I was a high school teacher and basketball coach. I wasn't a Navy SEAL. I wasn't like this. I was a normal guy. I'm a normal guy. And then, like, one of the worst things happens to this normal guy, and he's able to get through it. Like, that should show, like, you can do, like, humans are resilient, man.
That's really profound that he just said that he's just a normal guy. Because that's how I feel. I'm just a normal person. So I want to do so much and emote so much love and change the world, right? But I'm just this normal person. I do feel that. And watching him on here, like, I think he's incredible. I don't think he's just some normal person like me. To me, he's like a hero. The fact that he was able to bury his entire family except for one child, and he can stand up here and say that he still enjoys his life and he enjoys living. That is incredibly motivating for me.
And they don't even get it. Like, the things you're able to do and get through, if you just believe in yourself a little bit, I think. But, like, man, like, people, you're more resilient than you think. Like, if you have a dream or a goal, like, if you're serious about it, you can do it, man. You can.
Anything
like, in a realistic world, like Sam Josie, our buddy, co-host, he's not making the NBA. Like, there's only so much you can do sometimes. But, like, in reality, yeah, that's true. Like, you can get through a lot of shit, man.
For those that don't know, Sam is a dwarf. He has a form of dwarfism.
Yeah, you don't use the D word with Sam. That's offensive to them.
Okay, Sam is
He's a dwarf, though. No, but he suffers from Ellis Van Creveld. And, yeah, he's the co-host of our 1090 podcast, and he's been through some stuff, too. And his perspective of life is just awesome. And he uses humor a lot, as do I, to kind of help battle our dark demons. But, yeah, we've been good buddies for a while, so.
I saw Sam at the gym today.
You sent me that picture? That's so crazy, man.
Randomly.
So funny.
So I'm in town from Arizona. We're in Utah recording this. And I choose some random gym to go to this morning to work out. And I'm doing my thing, and I look over and I see this larger than life dwarf.
You can say it. It's all right.
Sam sitting doing a machine. I start walking towards him, and, like, he sees me walking beeline at him from afar, but he, like, does one of these, like, lookaways, like because he doesn't want to make eye contact, and he doesn't realize it's me.
Right.
And as I'm getting closer, he still has his head down. He's
like, what is this guy doing?
And I get literally within 2 feet of him, and finally he looks up at me, and it takes him like a few seconds. And he's like, "Oh, Tyler, hey,
what's up?
What are you doing?" Funny, it was probably one of those weird moments for him, but
yeah, that's too good.
I want to talk about a lot of things, but do you? Let's maybe, you shared something before that about death that I thought was a really interesting quote that I want to circle back to, and maybe even just talking about your beliefs on the world or religion or faith or these sort of things. But to dovetail into that, do you feel like Blue...
That's very interesting. I want to know his beliefs too, but give me 1 second. My dog is driving me nuts. Sorry, one sec. Okay, sorry about that, guys.
You made it for a certain reason, or is your perspective it was just lucky, it was happenstance, it was chance?
Yeah, I think it was just how the chips landed. And it's weird because, and listen, when people say I'm praying for you or God bless you, I love it. I take, it's great. Thank you. I don't take offense to that. But when people say, and I'm not saying I'm right. This is just kind of how I see it sometimes. But when people say, oh, it's a miracle that Blue survived, I'm like, okay, let's break this down. If you're going to give credit to a God that saved Blue, you then have to give him credit for killing Courtney,
Everyone else,
Riggins, Frankie, Race, Ryder, and the 3 other people that were killed in that car accident. Because it wasn't just my family. 3 other people died. Am I crazy? Or, like, does that make any sense? That's just how I see it. Like, if there's a God that can save Blue, then he chose not to save.
That's interesting. That's a very interesting perspective. For me, when I hear that and I feel like I don't think that it's God that saved Blue. I believe it's Blue's spirit team that saved Blue. And the reason they saved Blue is because it wasn't his time yet. I do believe that before we ever arrive here on planet Earth, that we are spiritual beings, we are energy. And that energy is intelligent, and that energy chooses the timeline that they're going to have here on this earth. And they choose what lessons that they want to teach humanity through their life or their death. Because I don't believe death is a punishment. I believe that death is a transformation back into your energy being, your spirit, if you will. And that is our most natural form, is in spirit. So I don't believe that God just allowed everybody else to die and just saved Blue. Let me just save this one kid and everybody else died. Throw him to the wind, let him go. I don't believe it's like that. I believe that everybody else, they had all their energy, their spirits had planned to exit the planet at the same time to teach love. And that for Blue, that wasn't his lesson. His job was not to leave the planet to teach love. His job was to stay here to show his dad and to hold his dad and to help him understand love. That's how I see it anyways. That's my perspective.
Everyone else.
Yeah. There's 21 cars involved in this accident.
So, like, I haven't asked any details of the accident. My perspective is they died instantly. It was brutal enough that they died quickly, and I'm kind of at peace with that. And so I've stayed away from the details of the accident. So I know very little. From what I've heard, I think it was a 22 car pileup caused by a sandstorm. 8 people died. That's honestly, and then there were some trucks involved. That's all I really know. I haven't seen pictures of it. I haven't read anything about it. So 90% of people that know my story might know the details of it better than I do. Like I've stayed away from that stuff.
Yeah. But to your point, there's 21 cars. Let's say there's 60 people, and 5 out of those, 8 people die or whatever, right?
Right.
And most of them are in that car.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't seem fair. You know, if we want to talk.
No, like the literally, like the timing of it, Matt. Like, give them a red light or a flat tire, or have someone cut them off, or stop at the gas station for 1 minute longer, or like, and it could have been so many things. Yeah, it's like, it's so crazy of the chances of something like that happen that sometimes it almost does feel like it was on, like, yeah, it was on purpose almost. Because, like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, I do feel like it is on purpose. As hard as that is to say, because nobody wants to see a child die, especially in a car accident. That's horrific. That's horrible. And terrifying to think about. Anybody who has kids is terrified to know that that's a reality and that's a possibility. But I do believe that people who do pass like that their job or one of their missions is to teach that awareness, to teach those lessons, to have people feel these emotions so that they can learn from them and that they can evolve from them. So yeah, this is a big way for this gentleman to lose his whole family except for his one child. But I'm sure that he is teaching so much. He's teaching so many people about love and what it really means to live.
What's your perspective on life? Like, what do you think this life is? What do you think it's all about?
I think trying to answer that question is kind of it, honestly. I don't, dude. Like, look at the evolution of what we've done. Like, we haven't been here very long, and like as humans, and like, who knows? Like, this thing is, like, think of your life 20 years ago, what the world was like. This thing is moving so crazy, so fast. I don't think anyone has any clue, honestly. I think the point of this life is pain. Like, we're all going to experience that, and the Stoic philosophy that I love kind of teaches me, like, is to suffer well without complaint. That's what Marcus Aurelius always talked about. That's the true test of a man. We're all going to suffer, but suffer well. And then I do think another part.
Yeah, I understand that. To suffer well would mean to understand that this is just what is. This is the reality of my life today. And instead of getting sucked into the negativity and the what ifs, that I'm going to be present and I'm going to continue to share my light and to show joy and to love. I believe that is the whole purpose.
The purpose of life is progress, try to become better. I think that has to be part of it. That just makes so much sense to me. Trying to get better as an individual every day, not just for you, but then to help humanity. And then once you die, hopefully you left something behind that will serve other people well. You ever heard the quote, like, true love or whatever is people planting seeds for trees that they'll never get to the chance to sit in the shade of? Like, they'll be long gone, but they're planting it for that. Like, that, it's that. I think that is kind of the purpose of life, trying to help other people and make this world a better place.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. And I kind of believe that that is what his family did. That in leaving in such a horrific, traumatic way, it caused people to stop, to pay attention, to start living. So yeah, they're not going to get to see all these people. I'm sure their immediate family, I'm sure so many of them have evolved and leveled up and are living better because they experienced this tragedy. So I feel like that was the family's goal, the mission. Their spirits, convened before they even came to this planet and said, we're going to teach this very important lesson. It's going to be a hard lesson to learn, but it's important, and we're going to teach it, and we're going to take that upon ourselves.
I think another point of purpose of life is finding love and connection. Because one thing I've experienced from losing my family is pain is awesome. Pain will show you who you are. Better than anything else. Pain. And it's going to reveal your character. Like, who are you? And then love if you don't like who you are, like pain shows you who you are. That's what pain does. If you don't like who you are, love will allow you to change and become something what you want to be. That's the power of love. So the power of pain shows you who you are. And if it's good, great. If it's not, you got to love other people, man. Or I don't know if that makes any sense. It's just kind of how I see it.
Mm-hmm. That makes perfect sense.
You have
But hold on, before we move on.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know the purpose of life. And I think it's different for everyone. But I think there's a couple similar things that fit. It's the same thing like shooting a basketball. Like, there's 1,000 different, like, look at all these NBA guys. They all shoot at weird, different things, but they all have set things in common, like balance, like shot line, like all that stuff. Every shooter, no matter what, they're going to have those similar characteristics that you need to improve to be a better shooter. I think it's the same thing with life. Yeah. Like, it's going to be so different for everyone. What they like to do, their hobbies, their interests, their passions, what motivates, it's going to be completely different. Where they grew up, how they were raised, all those things matter. But I do think there's a couple things as a human race that we all share. And I think that would be love and connection, trying to improve and love other people, and then suffer well without complaint.
Yeah, I believe that. And I think that what he's saying is, as humans, our job here is to love and honor other humans. That's it. That's our only job. That's our only mission, is to lead with love and to be respectful and honor other people as well as ourselves. We definitely have to start with ourselves. I know here in America, loving yourself is like woo-woo and self-help. Oh, nobody wants to talk about that. But that is definitely the foundation. If you don't love and respect yourself, you cannot love or respect anybody else. You just can't.
Do you think part of that is just trying to do good in the world? And if so, how do you define that? What does good mean?
Well, I love, part of the thing we do at 1090, like one of our pillars, is we love the concept of we is greater than me. And by the way, like, I'm not claiming I know anything. These are just my ideas. So, like, if you're an idiot, I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying, like, I don't know. Like, take this for what it is. Turn off the podcast right now. I don't care. But, like, I don't remember your question now. What'd you ask me? You don't even remember now either.
No, it's
Ryan, do you remember? See, that's what happens when I go on a tangent like
just
that.
Keep going. Where were you going?
Well, what'd you add? Purpose of life?
I was talking about, like, is part of life doing good?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, what does that actually mean?
So, we versus me, like, we is greater than me. This is something I've learned about my pain. I have bad days, dude. Like, I'm not doing good today. Those bad days are the days, like, I can't accept it. And I just think about me, like, my pain, like, my sweet Frankie, Court, my beautiful wife, my brother. Like, I just think about me. And those days suck when you're just having those selfish thoughts. So what I found is, if I can think about other people, and dude, like, I think honestly, one of the reasons Blue has helped me so much is I get to make him lunch for his school day. I get to get him ready. It gives me something to do. It's not about me. It gets my mind off all my shit. So what I've learned is if I serve other people and I get my mind off of me, it's doable. Life is doable. Life is manageable. Life can be good. It can still be fun. I can still enjoy life despite what's happened. Because of other people. Isn't that a weird, like, that's how powerful it is. I think serving it, it's the whole Jesus thing.
And it's so true. Like, if you're having a bad day, a hard moment, do something nice for somebody else, and your energy will change completely. And I think that's true because we're here to lead with love. That's our whole purpose. We're here to love and to honor other people. So when we do that, when we are actively loving and honoring other people, our energy just fills up, like it surges, because it's like, yes, that's what you're supposed to do. You're like connecting. That's what you're supposed to do. We're evolving. Yes. So I think that's why why that happens. When you do something genuinely for somebody else, not to get something back in return. Not, oh, I'm going to lend you this money, so when I need money, you lend it to me. Not like that. When you're like, here, take what you need. I have this to give, and let me give this to you. And you give it, not with any kind of expectations. That fills your heart and your soul in ways that no amount of money or trips or material items will ever do.
Serving other people, loving your neighbor, cast the beam out of your own eye before you, that whole stuff. I think that's good, is teamwork. And that's when you're on our podcast, that was basically what we talked about the whole time, was the power of teamwork. Like there's no, and you know, I'm a really lucky guy because one thing I do have is an incredible support system. Like I have some kick-ass parents, dude. They're unbelievable great parents. My siblings, my in-laws, my sister-in-law, dude, like my friends. I could go. I have a huge. People message me from all over the world, dude. Australia, Europe, like New Zealand, everywhere.
See, all of these people that he has touched and inspired by his story, all of these people that have changed because of his story, because of his family. I believe that is not an accident. I do believe that's the whole point. That's why there's tragedy in the world, because it's teaching a lesson to humanity. I think so.
And it's just simple messages like, hey, I love your story, we're cheering for you. If you ever need it, like simple, quick messages like that. There's so many people, Tyler, don't have that. There's this lady I'm messaging in Europe, and she lost her, brother or sister, a sibling. I feel bad now, I don't even remember, but she lost his sibling, and then two other people, like his kids died. So pretty close, pretty similar to my story. And she's been messaging me. She lives in Europe, and dude, she's alone. Like, doesn't have anyone. Like, she's messaging me every day. And I get these a lot from people, and I have some sad stories. Like, some people will message me, and then it turns out to be like a catfish thing, and they're making fun of me. And then other times it's legit, like these people. So now I have to like look up their stories. Like, is this legit or not? So like, I might be getting catfished. I know it's really fucked up, dude. But like, so I think it's legit. But anyway, like this girl has no one, and I'm trying everything. Like all this 1090 stuff, that all the things that I've learned, I'm throwing everything at her, and it's just not working, dude. And she's having such severe panic attacks that she's in the hospital. And I remember her messaging like, I'm in the hospital now, and she wants, I don't know how specific, I don't know, but she wants to self-harm. So she's asking me about all this self-harm stuff, and I'm like, you should just get tattoos. That's what I do. Like, I get a lot of tattoos because in my mind, tattoos is the healthiest form of self-harm that there is. It's a socially acceptable form of self-harm. So I tell her, I just get tattoos, and she's like, no, like I want to cut myself. I'm like, anyway, dude, nothing's working. And I went back to me, like, okay, when I was 2 weeks in after the funeral, like what advice really helped me? And I remembered, and so then I texted her and I said, hey, I'm proud of you. You're doing such a good job. Keep going. And she wrote back, wow, I don't remember the last time anyone's told me that. And it helped her. And I'm not saying that's what you say. I'm not saying that's the golden answer. But for her in that moment, it had an impact, dude. And her response back was like, wow, like, and you could just feel that, like, that one got to her. And that was a good moment.
See, again, I don't believe it's on accident. I believe that he experienced his tragedy, and because he had that knowledge, he was able to help another woman survive her own traumatic experience. And I'm sure that will ripple out so far that we will never know where it ends. And again, that's like what he's saying, plant the seeds to a tree that you will never be here to experience. Because, yeah, you don't know where that love is going to go. So, yeah, plant that seed. Lead with love.
Did somebody say that to you?
Yeah. My buddy Kevin Damron, he took me to lunch and he said that. I was telling him how bad I was hurting and how much of a screw up I felt. And he's like, Mason, I'm proud of you. And it just like, boom, like, oh my, thanks, man. Like, I'm really trying. No one's told me that. So, yeah, that one felt good. So good for her.
I heard something recently that was really impactful, which was, and I have no idea who said it, but you know the old adage, like my mother used to say this all the time, when you don't have something nice to say,
Don't say anything at all, yeah.
Right? I can see my mother saying this over and over and over again to me and my brothers. But there's another one that's the inverse to that in many ways, which is when you have something nice to say it immediately. So if you have a thought about somebody, like, man, I love Sam. We're talking about Sam. We love Sam. He's great. We should, like, Sam, you're amazing, man. And could you think if every time you had a good thought about somebody, you told them? Mm-hmm. What do you think that would do? What would that do for them? But also, what would it do for you?
Yeah, I think
that's actually a really good idea. And that's a really good idea. I'm going to try to take that in. So, yeah, anytime I think about somebody, I'm just going to text them and let them know I'm thinking about you and how are you doing. That's profound.
And like, dude, have you ever been around people that do that? That are kind of like that?
No.
There's a couple.
Not that I know of.
Dude, those people are awesome. Like, even like, let's say you're at the gym, like, hey, I like your shirt or I like your hair or whatever. Like, even shit like that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and it's weird because before the accident, I hear people say stuff like that, and I'd be like, whatever, man. And then after the accident, when I'm really hurting, and people say stuff like that, it does help, man. It's like, oh, thanks, man. Like, it does make a difference. Just being nice, and if everyone just said, I don't know, though, because I feel like you got to talk about the bad stuff, too, though. Like, you ever watched American Idol, and you have the terrible singers on there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, makes the show.
It's the best part of the show.
Yeah.
It's not their fault. Like, people told that, like, yeah, you're good. His mom's like, yeah, you're good. You're going to crush it on American Idol. And then he goes and he's embarrassing himself in front of millions because no one told. Like, sometimes, like, the truth hurts, but, like, hey, like, I don't know. So, I don't know. If we get.
Yes, he's absolutely right. You definitely have to be honest. Being nice and being kind does not mean dishonest. Being nice and being kind and leading with love means that if somebody's a horrible singer, let's use that for an example, then instead of saying, oh, you suck, stop singing, that's horrible, you might say, hey, not everybody is the best at singing. Some people are talented in other ways. Some people are better at instruments, or some people are better dancers. Let's see what else you're good at. Let's find some other talents for you. Something like that. You lead with love because you're not wanting to hurt this person, but you're wanting to be honest because you don't want them to be hurt later by somebody else whose intention is to hurt. So you can do that. You can be honest and you can be kind.
If we're just flooding the earth with like no one's doing anything bad ever, I don't know. We gotta be careful with that one. But I get to your point, like.
But I think it's
nice
like
matters.
I don't have to tell you. Let's say I don't think you are good looking.
Yeah, you don't want to say, like, I don't think you're good looking. No, don't say that.
Well, let's say you think I look like Louis C.K., for example. All right.
That was good.
No, but it's like I don't. I have certain friends that I don't agree with everything they do or they say or whatever. And I don't have to, and that's okay. But there are things they do that I really love, and that make me feel good, and that uplift me, and so I should tell them, right? I think when
absolutely. Like,
yeah.
Like, when's the last time, like, if you're a dad or a husband, boyfriend listening to this, like, when's the last time you bought your wife flowers and just said, hey, you're amazing, I love you, I appreciate you, all the things you do for me and our family has not been lost on me, you're awesome. Besides, like, Valentine's Day and her birthday, like, when's the last time you did something like that? Or your kids? Like, listen, I was driving home, it was me and Blue, we were driving home, and I said, hey, Blue, you're so cool, I love being your dad, you make me so happy, I'm the richest man in the world because I have you. I told him, like, when's the last time you told your kids something like that? And
that's so important. And I'm definitely going to make sure I'm way more aware of that. Way more aware of saying things like that to my husband. Like, I try to remember, I'll send him a text when I think about it and tell him, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so happy that I'm married to you. Like, you are the best husband, the best father. You make me so happy. And then I try to text my daughter who lives in Texas, and I try to tell her how proud I am of her whenever I think about it. But it's not often that I think about it, and so I need to be way more present about that.
The reason I told Blue that is I remember when I was a little kid, I was little. I remember talking to my dad, and we were talking about money or something. And my dad, he's like, Mason, I think I'm the richest guy in the world. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, because I'm married to your mom, who's the best mom ever, and I have amazing kids. And he's just, like, talked about, and like, so, like, my dad, like, he never preached to me about, like, being a good dad or money doesn't matter, it's about it. Like, he never had to tell me that. He just, how he communicated with me and how he lived his life showed me all that stuff.
So,
but, like, when's the last time you told your kids something like that? But usually it's, how was school today? How was recess?
Yeah.
Go get your iPad or whatever.
I'm trying to be, actually the last several months I've been a lot more thoughtful about this, because when I'm home and when I'm able, I take my son to school, which seems like such a silly small gesture.
No,
but like,
I take that to heart. Like, that's why I was 10 minutes late today. I had to take Blue to school.
Yeah. And that connection that I get with him for 7 minutes in the car every day is amazing. And I've started to now try to take advantage of that opportunity. But you have to play the fine line of, like, not being boring or cliche,
right,
but also not being, like, overly weird.
Right.
You know, because my son's like, he's 7. He's
getting a little older.
Getting smarter. Yeah. And so he's like, he knows when, like, you're bullshitting. He's kind of like,
they can sense it, man.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find the right things to say, and I think sometimes it's just that. It's proud of you.
And sometimes it's not saying anything. Like, there's nothing wrong with silence. If you're not feeling pulled or compelled in that moment to say something, then just be there. Just be a loving presence that's there connecting with your child. Words are not the only way we communicate. Like, we are energy. Like, we communicate lots of different ways, not just with language. So yeah, silence is okay.
I love you.
It took 55 seconds.
Yeah. And it probably made Blue's day.
Yeah.
He probably thought about that a lot.
Yeah, I hope so.
You have all these tattoos now. Did you have tattoos before the accident?
0.
0. Not even 1.
Not even 1.
And how many do you have now?
Oh my goodness, dude. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14?
14, but some of these are
big, like big. My legs are basically covered, yeah.
Tell me about one that has incredibly deep meaning to you.
They all do. Big, like this one right here, this guy getting electrocuted in this chair, is from Metallica album Ride the Lightning. And they have a song in that album called Fade to Black. And if you read those lyrics, that's my life. Yeah.
Is there an excerpt that stands out to you in Fade to Black?
Literally the whole thing? The whole song.
Can you quote some of it?
And then, yeah. But then I also love their song One. Like, I got this Metallica skull right here for their song One, which talks about, like, a lot of Metallica stuff's about hardcore drugs and warfare type stuff, and like James Hetfield dealt with suicidal thoughts. So it's like a lot of so it's like a different kind of pain, but it's also relatable to me in some ways. But their song One is about this guy that just loses all his limbs in war, can't even see anymore, and all the pain he has. That's like a good description of me. And then their song Until It Sleeps. Until it's like, dude, Metallica, dude. I kid you not. I'd have panic attacks and I'd cry. I'd cry and scream, and I'd put Metallica in my headphones. That's why one of the reasons why I always have a fanny pack on is my headphones are in there. And if panic attack's coming on, I put those in and I crank Metallica, dude, and I just listen to their lyrics. And I cry with it, and then song's over, and I move on, and I keep going.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like I'm not making this shit up. So I got a lot of Metallica stuff, but Fade to Black, like, it's basically like the only, like, death is the way out, and you're basically just waiting for that sweet release that death can give you. It has lyrics like, I've lost someone inside of me. I'm not the man I used to be. Like, all this stuff, dude, and it's just clicking with me. Like, yeah, like, that's kind of how it is. And then Courtney and I's song was Nothing Else Matters, a Metallica song. So I got those lyrics on my leg right there. But
let me read that. Pull it up, and I'm going to read it.
You want to read it?
I never opened myself this way. Life is ours. We live it our way. All these words I just don't say, and nothing else matters.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I think, like, being a podcaster, public speaker, like, and all the shit I say, I've never opened up myself. Like, yeah, definitely rings true. But this Iron Man tattoo is special because Ryder, who was killed in a car accident, he was really good friends with my son Riggins, and they'd always draw each other pictures. And Ryder drew this really cool Iron Man picture that looks like this. And he also wrote to Riggins, he said, to Riggins from Ryder. And I kept that handwriting. So the tattoo artist, like, copied Ryder's handwriting. So that's Ryder's handwriting to Riggins. And then I copied that Iron Man picture he drew and got a tattoo made out of it. So I love that Iron Man one a lot. But each tattoo has something to do. Like, this Live Wild one is for Race. The butterflies for Courtney. I got some stoic stuff. Yeah, it's kind of a tribute to them.
What's on the back of your calf?
Oh, the buffalo! You want to talk about the buffalo? I gotta pee, though. Can I pee real quick?
Yeah.
We'll pause. But the buffalo tattoo. So, Preston, P-Dudes. What's his Instagram? P-Dudes something. He's good, man. That guy is freaking good. But, so I told him the metaphor of the buffalo. I'm like, hey, I want, like, a cool buffalo heading into a storm tattoo, and this is why. So I told him the metaphor, which is buffalo and cows, they can both sense when a storm's coming. And cows, when they get scared, the way they react is they just start running away from it, which is like what we do too. When storm that we're facing in life happens, a lot of us, we choose to run away from it, whether it's excuses, avoiding accountability, it's someone else's fault, we don't work hard enough. Procrastination, like we're running away from it. And these cows, they run and they run and they run, can never run fast enough. Storm's always going to catch up to you. And when the storm catches up to you, it's way worse because you were running away. And so cows, when the storm catches them, they keep running They don't stop. If you just stop and the storm passes, it's not as bad. But they're so scared. They can't even think straight. They just keep running. And so now they're running with the storm. So they stay in the storm
way longer.
They make it way worse than it ever had to be. Just like in life, you run away from your problems, eventually they're going to catch up to you. And when they do, it's going to be way worse. Buffalo, when they see a storm coming, they also get scared. They get scared like the cow gets scared. But instead of running from it, what the buffalo have learned is, we're going to go right at this thing. Like, bring it on. And so what the buffalo learned is charging into the storm passes over them much quicker. And then the buffalo gets the reward or the gift of the storm. They get the fresh grass and the water, whatever the storm,
Wow. That's an amazing metaphor. I've never heard that before. That's crazy. It makes so much sense though, because he's so right about that. If you avoid your problems, hide from them, pretend that it's not happening, they're not going away, and then when they resurface, it's way worse than it was if you would have just dealt with it right there head on. So he's absolutely right. Don't run from the storm, run towards the storm. Just face it head on. That's incredible.
Whatever type of storm it was, what it gave them. They get to enjoy it now, that part of it. Cows, when they run away, and this is the same thing with life. Like, if you run away from your obstacles or if you run away from your trauma, you're only going to run away from the benefits of it. You're only going to run away from the gifts of it. There's gifts with trauma. It's a weird gift. It's one no one wants. It's one no one deserves. But there's gifts within it, like these little golden nuggets. And if you face it head on, you get that. You get the good parts of the trauma. That's what I've learned. I've gotten a cool platform now. I get to go on podcasts. I get to meet so many cool people, talk to so many people, travel the country and talk to so many people now. Help so I get that. I get to do that because I decided to face it head on. If you run away from your problems, you're only going to get the bad parts of it. It's going to ruin you. It's going to destroy you. And it didn't have to. And the other thing with the analogy, and I think one that's critical to like the culture we're in now is, sometimes it's a small storm. It's just a small one. Not like, you just got to go to school today and then go to practice, do your homework, be nice, go to bed. That's all you got to do. It's just a little one. But what we're creating in our culture is anything gets hard, whether it's sports, school, whatever. We're cows. No account. And what's happening is we can outrun small storms sometimes. You can. Like, some problems in your life, you have an excuse, you don't want to take accountability. It might actually work out for you, get away with it. But you do not experience any pain, any difficulty, any hardship. You don't grow, you stay weak. And then when a big storm happens, you don't have a chance. You don't have a chance in hell because you've been outrunning these little ones. If you can face the little storms and take accountability, like, I got a C on my math test. I got to do better at math instead of my math teacher's an idiot. Or I got cut from my high school basketball team. Maybe I should have worked harder. Maybe my coach isn't racist at all, actually. Like, instead of playing the blame game, instead of trying to outrun this little storm so you can sleep better at night, you need to face it, dude. Like, I need to do better. That wasn't okay. And if you have that mentality, then you're going to get stronger and you're going to grow, and then you can deal with more difficult things. Mm-hmm. And then you can make the world a better place because you know how to manage problems better. We can't, this cow thing's got to go.
Do you have any advice for people who have storms on the horizon, how to deal with them?
Dude, you have to tell people. You have to tell someone. I think that's where it starts. Like, because when you speak it, when you tell someone, that's one of the first stages of acceptance, is we can actually talk about it. Like, I'm really hurting here. Or, hey, I'm an alcoholic. Or, hey, like, I hate my job. Or, hey, I'm really unhappy in my marriage. We need to do something. Okay. Communication. Instead of, like, being unhappy in your marriage, so you're going to go cheat on her and then it blows up, you should have just talked to her, like, hey, I'm not happy. Are you, like, talk it, just talk, open your mouth. Communicate. Tyler, how communication is, you're a business guy. How valuable is communication in business? It's probably one of the most important things.
It's like everything.
How valuable is communication on a basketball court? It's one of the most important things. How valuable is communication in a marriage? Might be the most important thing. It's no different with trauma. You got to communicate it. And we just express our trauma in different ways. We drink alcohol, or we act out as teenagers, or we're mean to other people, or we express it in all these negative ways instead of just like, hey, I'm not doing good.
Yeah, because that's the avoidance he's talking about. That's the running, the being the cow in the storm. So you're going to drink, and so that you can forget it and not think about it. That's not taking accountability. That's running.
I need help. But that's worse. People can't say, that's too vulnerable. I don't want to appear weak, so I'm going to find these other avenues, and it's really crazy, man. And it's so simple, but you just you got to talk, man. You got to tell someone, like, hey, I have suicidal thoughts. I'm really depressed. I've had thoughts of killing myself. You know, talk to someone. I think that's where it starts, and it's hard because. And we hate this too at the 1090, and I hate the victim thing too. You never want to be a victim. It's not what you want. So it is hard sometimes, and I get that way too. Like, I don't want to be a crybaby and a victim about it. Like, I don't want people like, poor me, like, just treat me normal. But at the same time, I need to find a way to communicate how bad I'm hurting. And it's hard. It gets hard sometimes, but I think that's why having really good friends is important. A good support system is important. Therapy is important. Is talking, man.
Do you know who Paddy Pimblett is? UFC fighter?
No.
He has a clip, and we'll share it here, where he talks about, he had won a fight. It was a big fight. I think it was a co-main event or a main event. And he's getting interviewed by Joe Rogan after the fact. And he basically took the entire time, that platform, to talk about a friend who had killed himself the day before. And he just says, men, we need to start talking. You need to open up. You need to call somebody. Say something. Don't let it get so bad so far to get to that point. If you just open up and you talk, you communicate, you can avoid this. So I think it's right on.
And I think part of the way to avoid the victim thing is, okay, I've talked about it, but you know, the old adage, talking's cheap. Okay, I've talked about my pain, talked about how bad I'm hurting. Now what are you going to do? Are you going to look for a handout? Yeah. Or are you going to look to try to do something about it and help other people? Yeah. I think that kind of where it pivots to, okay, we've talked about it. Now, am I going to be a cow or am I going to be a buffalo after that communication? But we got to talk about it, man.
What about seemingly smaller storms? Let's say, I mean, not everybody's dealing with some of these catastrophic tornadoes.
Dude, the small
right?
storms, dude, they're blessings, man. Like, dude, life is pain, life is struggle, and that's how we get stronger. And it sucks. I don't know why it works like that. But the greatest lessons learned is from the worst things, and the way you get stronger is from the worst thing. It's just how life works. So yeah, like, whatever it is, dude, a hard breakup, you get cut from your team, you lose your job, you have cancer, whatever it is, dude, like. Well, we got into some bigger storms as I started listening. All right. But, like, these smaller storms, man, like, if I'm a parent and my kid, like, makes the B team, like, great. Yeah. Like, Blue, you're on the B team. Let's try to get you on the A team. Let's try to get better. Instead of, like, that coach is an idiot. What's he doing? Like, no, maybe you're an idiot. Like... Dude, yeah, like, be a buffalo, man. Let your kid fail a little bit. Let him cry a little bit. Let him get hurt a little bit. Like, I post all these videos of Blue one-wheeling and he falls down all the time. He gets right back up. That's life, dude. That's life, man. You can't protect him from everything.
Yeah, there's another great quote. Jordan Peterson talks about when you see that one of your children is in danger, and you know they're about to splat on the ground riding their one wheel, to actually just let it happen.
Yeah. So
instead of infiltrating and saving the day and being a superhero, like, no, just, you know it's coming. You see the cliff, you see the curb, let them go, let them fall, and let them get up and try again.
And like, the whole God thing, I get that part. Like, God has to allow, I get that. the thing I don't get with the God thing is, okay, now we're in heaven. Now what the hell are we doing? Because if there's no pain, there's no pain, if there's nothing to battle against, if there's no opponent, if there's no adversity, how do you grow? How do you ever begin?
That's why you reincarnate and you come back to Earth, and then you learn more lessons and you grow and you evolve. And you evolve as a spirit. That's how come humans have more than one lifetime. Like, you reincarnate. And that's why. Because when you're in your purest form, in your energy, in your spirit or your energy, whatever you want to call it, you don't experience any pain or any negative emotion. And the only way to experience that, to grow and to evolve, is to reincarnate and become a human and come to Earth or wherever else. But there's more than just evolving your spirit. Once you've evolved so far, you also have a spirit team. There's humans on Earth that you watch over, that you help evolve, and there's so many other things to do. And there's so many other planes of existence, so many different ways to evolve. But yes, definitely through pain and adversity, your spirit will evolve. But then there's other experiences that will also evolve your spirit. So yes, once you die and you become your purest form, you transform to your self, who you really are, your energy being, then from there you can reincarnate, or you look over other humans who are having their experience and they're evolving and you help them along their journey, or you reincarnate in a different type of existence and you evolve in a different way. There's so much to do and so much to see. Like, it's limitless. Like, our imaginations we could never imagine what there is.
It's impossible. Unless you just drop down like God knows and you don't, and it's faith. You can play that card all day, but to me, we need pain, we need death, we need adversity, and it's sad and it's awful, and I wish my family didn't die. But like, if they were able to, like, if there's no death, then there's no life, there's no beauty to anything. If there's no pain, there's no joy. It's the yin and the yang, man. Yeah. So that's where we need pain, we need death. But then, like, that's where I don't want to get back into the God thing, but that's just another part of it. You're telling me this Jesus guy overcame death. No, like, we actually need death, I think.
What are you doing with 1090? Can you expound more? Like, what are all the things you're working on?
Dude. We're like, so like, let's say I'm the leader of the group. I have a lot of demons, dude. I'm dealing with all this shit. So, you know, when the main guy has depression, anxiety, and survivor's guilt 24/7, you don't get a lot done sometimes. And then Sam. So he's just like, whatever, like, yeah. And then Ryan's the only smart one in the 1090 group. He's got it together. So Ryan keeps the 1090 afloat. But yeah, we just do podcasts and we pick up public speaking gigs. Dude, we talk to law firms, construction companies, high schools, elementary schools, sales groups. Who did we talk to yesterday, Ryan? HR something. Dude, I don't even know. It's crazy. I did not see this coming when we got into the public speaking thing. I thought we'd speak to, like, people dealing with death or whatever. Dude, we're speaking to anyone and everyone. It's really cool. All ages, like, whatever. And that's the cool thing about death, is it relates to everything, man. So no matter whatever business company you're in, our 1090 message will help you. Yeah. Because the messages we've learned from it is relatable to every area of your life. So it's cool. It's a really cool opportunity to have.
What do you like doing the best on it? You like doing podcasts, speaking? Do you want to develop, like, materials for people? Like, where does this thing go?
Well, I'm 20 months in my trauma thing. And, you know, sometimes I get a little worried that the people ask me for advice all the time. Like, dude, I don't actually know what's going on. Like, I don't know if I'm the guy that should be giving you advice. I am struggling. So I'm not comfortable yet having, like, Dude, I haven't overcome anything. I'm going through it. I'm like in the storm right now. So I'm just like, I don't know. So I've had ideas and I like to dream big, but in reality, it's like, okay, let's just get through today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. But dude, like we've been, the success and growth we've had for the first 8-9 months is kind of scaring me, honestly. I thought me and Sam would do the podcast and it'd be like my mom and my grandma would listen to it, and then maybe like 4 other sad people, and it'd be kind of like this pity party, just like this sad, depressing guy just talk. I kind of thought that's what it would be, and it's not. Like, it's been wild. So we're just kind of letting it grow, and we're not trying to put it in a box or anything. We're just trying to. We don't know what we are yet, dude, but we're a podcast / public speaking thing.
Yeah. What's the last message that you want to share with the world that you haven't already shared today?
I think it'd be the 1090 quote. I think life's 10% what happens to you and 90% what you're going to do about it. When I buried my family and we put the headstones in, my name is on the headstone with Courtney, and we're next to our kids, and then Race and Ryder are like below us, like in the cemetery. And by your name on these headstones, you can put something. And mine's blank right now. So when I die, I'll put something on there. So I think about this actually quite a bit. Like, what am I going to put on there? And it would be the 1090 logo, or it would be that quote. I don't think I think the car accident in my family has no purpose. I think your life has no purpose. I think it's up to you to make it mean something. It's up to you to make it work. It's in your power of control. And that's why I love the 1090 thing.
Amen. Let's end on that. Thanks, Brian, for coming on.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate you having this death talk with me. This story was very interesting, very profound. I learned so much. I'm taking away so many different things. Definitely taking away making sure that I reach out whenever I'm thinking about somebody. Definitely making sure I tell my loved ones how proud I am of them and how much I appreciate them and how grateful I am of them. Definitely sharing the analogy about the cows and the buffaloes. That was amazing. I never heard that before. And what else? I can't even remember right now. But anyways, so what did you take from this video? Let me know in the comments. And until next time, this is Death Talks.